Um, Hi. I'm excited and I'm a little bit aflutter to be with you this evening. Um, it's nice to see you here and together and ready to dance. I sense um, if you see me looking up, that's because I have a double screen. Maybe Angie's Zoom account is like a similar situation. Camera's here, and so I'm not ignoring you. You know, it's the Zoom thing, right? So I'll try to look sometimes right here. Great. So here we are, and here is this um, session that I've entitled "Dancing as One." Um, in theme with this Terp Alum Love Week. Um, I'm excited to address you on the topic of dance, and I know that couples or partner dancing can sometimes be, I mean, it is an intimate thing between two people, and just like any relationship among, romantic partners, friends, parent to child, every relationship and every communication dynamic is unique. Yeah, so something, anything that I'm giving you here, that I'm discussing through this session, I hope you can take as just a few, like my perspective coming from dance, um, just a few tools or signals, maybe some moves, um, or like things to bring awareness to when you are either literally on the dance floor or just in your daily lives and interacting with one another. So I'm not I don't purport myself to be a relationship like a therapist or anything like that, but I think some of the stuff that we do here is of the same realm. It's things like listening, things like seeing one another and being able to communicate not just verbally like I am with you right now, but physically. And maybe it's just a simple gesture like I'm going to touch your hand. I am going to touch your shoulder. I'm leading. I'm following. There's just a whole communication here. Um, yes. Hi, Natalie. Welcome. Great. So, without further, I think just to um, be in the space with one another, and to kind of welcome us as a group, we're going to do a little bit of a warm up. Yeah. So I'm going to turn up the music. Nothing that we do here is going to be musical per se. So don't worry about counting. Don't worry about choreography. Even though I'm an MFA student at the School of Theater, Dance, and Performance Studies, this is not about the moves per se. This is about just loosening up and being social here. So volume comes up. Little sound check. At this volume, can you hear my voice? Great. And I will. There. Nice, easy, nice, easy tempo. Okay. So you're gonna start facing, I guess, wherever you can see me or facing the camera, just so you can see all of us on the Zoom screen. And stand side by side so that I can see each of you. Okay? Can you hear me okay or not? Not quite so good. That balance? Good. Okay. Great. So, stand side by side. And I'm just gonna have you just kind of sway back and forth. It can be steps, a very basic step, yeah? So while you do this, it's kind of the same it's the same gesture as being in your kitchen and stirring, just like you're just grooving to music by yourself, yeah? But now you're side by side. I want you to just rub your hands together while you do this, yeah? A little bit of a self warm up, yeah? It feels like I'm squeezing sometimes, so squeeze one hand, just squeeze a little bit down the forearm here. and then go up with the other arm. A little bit of a tricep squeeze, a little self massage, shoulder, yeah, and then the other shoulder. Nothing too heavy, and just brush it down like this. Yeah, cool. So relax the stepping, and you're just gonna take a head circle in one direction, nice and easy, and go in the other direction. Great. Good. So back to the stepping. In the space that you have, walk away from the camera, approach the step, and then toward. Yeah, yeah. It's a modified walk, just to get you moving, get you stepping. For me, I've been at my desk all day. Great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, we're gonna go, I'm beginning to give you a few of these like tools that you'll use when you're dancing with one another, and they manifest as kind of a game, okay? So I want you to just play this game with me first, and then you'll play with one another. I'll give you instructions each step of the way. So here's the game. Here's my head, and I'm gonna go in one direction and the other, and all you have to do is follow along. Yeah, it's like a cat following a toy, let's say, or if you're trying to mirror. Yeah. Yes. Amazing. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Great. And just to test the waters here, do the head in one hand. So where's your hand? Yes. You're doing great. This is great. Now two hands. Yes. Fantastic. And back. Yes. Amazing. Yes. So notice the amount of listening, visual listening that you have to do, right? Just to follow. But it's utterly game-like. You know, I do this with my nephew. Great. Hands down. Step 2, next level, because you mastered that one. You choose who's gonna be person 1 and who's gonna be person 2. Okay? So decide amongst yourselves. Good. And now you're gonna face one another and you're gonna play the same mirror game. So person 1 will be the initiator of this movement, and person 2 will follow. A simple mirror game. Kids play it, but we want to play that so we can practice our communication here. Yeah? So, look at one another. Great. And person 1 begins. So good. Good. Very good. Feel free to use your hands. Great. Amazing. And without any fanfare, switch. So person number two will be the one who's originating the movement. Person one will follow. Yeah. If you feel like sometimes you disconnect, feel free to slow down to catch back up. Awesome. Yes. Okay, let's pause there. You're doing so great. We, okay, we're advancing quickly. I love this. So the next step three and the final step of this activity is we will exchange without words the authorship of who's doing the movement. Maybe some of this has been happening already, but the two of you, you know, one person is going and they're following, and then suddenly, oh, we've diverged, but that means I'm gonna be the leader. Yeah, and so you're switching who's leading. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's clear how this relates to partner dancing, but this is just a little listening activity for us to non-verbally say, "No, I'm in charge. Thank you. Okay, you take the lead." Yeah. Okay. So, um, eyes to eyes, look at each other, and we'll begin with the next song. Here it is. Good. Remember, if you get disconnected, you can always slow down. Keep going. Yes. You're already doing it, but I just want to name it. You're moving your feet already. You're swaying from side to side, and you're quite focused on one another, even through the disagreements. Great. Very good. Good. Okay, let's come back together. Um, at this point, I just want to invite you, if you're comfortable and it feels like, this is no matter how old you are, because I also teach this activity to quite young dance students. No matter what, it brings up like a little bit of giggle because it's just like the impossibility of perfect communication is so fun, frustrating sometimes, but fun. So, how was that for you? Feel free to unmute and chat. You can just give a thumbs up too, and that's fine. We can move on. Yeah. Okay. Thumbs up all around. So, um, step two. I think let's go to touch points. Okay. So we because we're in mixed company, we're gonna keep the touch points PG. So I'm gonna name them. We have our hands. So just follow along with me so that we can touch our own touch points. We have our hands. We have our forearms. Yeah. There's your elbows. There's up to maybe the upper arms, shoulders. Okay. There's waist, and I think that's as far as we'll go. Yeah. So hands, forearms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders, maybe neck, maybe like back of the neck, something like that, and then waist. Okay. So face one another, and I want us to just do one at a time these touch points. Oh, okay. This is Dusty. So we're gonna do these touch points. We have hands. Yeah. We have forearms. Yeah. We have elbows. I know it's funny as a symmetrical touch point, right? We have upper arms, so we can hold my upper arms. We have shoulders. We have back of the neck. Yeah, and then the waist. Both. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, so here is something that I just want to give you this way to frame how we approach these touch points when you're doing partnering dance, right? Um, here's what came to mind when I was preparing for this. So, actually, can you see right there, so you can see what I'm thinking. This is like the farthest distance that we can be dancing, um, while still touching. Yeah, it's by hands. So in my mind, this is if I'm looking at my partner, this is let me see all of you. Yeah, and we're far apart so that we can see all of us, and yeah. And I think framing it that way instead of like I want to get away. Yeah, even though we are separating in space, yeah, this is an important thing for me to frame it still kind of with the attention on my partner. Yeah, so this is, let me see all of you. And the closer I go up the arms, and our hold may not be symmetrical, right? I might hold, I might hold a shoulder and an arm or waist or something like that, right? The closer we are to one another, it's as you get closer, it's let me get closer to you, or I would like to be closer to you. And as you get farther, it's let me see more of you. And so there's this breathing that happens between the two of you that can happen organically during your dancing. Yeah. So while we're doing something of a two-step, yeah, and this can be very, we're this can be very friends. This can be young children. Yeah, something like this can feel like school dance. Yeah, there's something about it. It's like room for the Holy Ghost here, school dance. Yeah, but when it's asymmetrical, and maybe we take a standard like the guy has his left arm up, right, and there's a form. Yeah, somehow it was very natural, right? So the man has his left arm up, and then the other arm on the waist. So let's do that. Yeah, this can feel like it's a place that we live as well. Okay. Yeah. For me, I'm taking the role of lady here. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Great. So I'm naming these touch points because I think when we come together on the dance floor, or if you're dancing in your living room, we might think that dancing can only look one way. You know, two people, they turn on the music and you only dance in that same frame that you always do, and it can get old quickly. Yeah. So something that I want you to explore now, I'm gonna give you some music and you can try it, is changing positions and giving each other the signal to say, I want to hold one hand with you. I would like to put my hand on the shoulder. Yeah. It feels mechanical right now um, because we're just doing a dry two step with basically no music. Yeah, but like be loose. You're gonna dance with one another and just switch positions. Yeah, and it doesn't. And something I want to stress is, um, and any person can choose to switch positions. Yeah, so if so, let's try it. I'm gonna turn up some music here. Do we understand what's happening? So we may begin a little bit further apart with hands, or even no touch. Okay, and then we'll have a dance. Um, and I want you to practice switching positions and framing what you see of your partner as, I'd like to be closer to you. I want to see more from you. Where will I put my hands? Is this okay? Yeah? Okay. Here comes the music.
I wish you love.
One another
And in
from different
July,
distances.
a lemonade to cool you in some leafy glade. I wish you health
We don't do it.
and more than wealth. I wish you love. My breaking heart, and I agree that you and I could never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. My breaking heart, and I agree that you and I could never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. Oh,
Good.
wish you shelter
See one another.
from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. But most of all, I wish you love.
Good. Very basic, changing your arm positions, okay? Um, so all of these are signals. So, I mean, basically, we're just changing positions. Easy stuff, right? Let's talk about the moves or like potential moves. And maybe, I mean, we all know there is turning my partner around. Give me this way. Yeah. Okay. And I want to teach you or show you how that works. So, I mean, you know, it's like quite intuitive, but basically, I can take one hand or the other, which is why sometimes we're holding both arms, or we can separate and come back together. So you have one hand, whichever one it is, and then I'm going to take that hand and move it across their midline, past their head, and that's the signal for I would like to turn you. Yeah, and so here's his this arm that's away from you. I'm going to cross it past his head, and that's my and when I go up, that's my signal to turn. Okay, and just notice. Stand here. Yeah. So turn me. There it is. Yeah. And whoever who's receiving this signal, yeah, and you're getting pulled, just follow the arm. That's it. I want I want you to practice too, turning one another. I feel like normally the woman gets turned, but it's fun to be turned. Okay. So, try. So just try. So come to hands. Come to hands, and just practice one arm and the other, um, and then switching who's being turned. Yeah. Okay.
Carlo,
Yeah.
what happens when the person is shorter?
Well, I'm the shorter one here, right? So I just have to reach a little bit higher, and they have to know that I mean, you gotta be the taller person has to be nice and know that I'm trying to do this, so they're just gonna duck under. Yeah. Okay, that's all. I'm gonna reach. I'm going on my tippy toes. You can't see that, but I reach like this. Thinking you just twirl 3 times. That's great. Yeah. So practice doing one another, going around in a circle. Yeah. Yes. Just a little bit.
My
Yes.
wish for you, sweet happy life.
That's great.
May all the days
So
of the
notice
years that
too
you live be
that
laughing days.
after the
And
turn,
for my heart,
you can come back
sweet happy life.
to hands. You
And
can
may the
also,
lifetimes that
like the
follow
turner,
be
can walk
dancing
away,
with
and you can create a little bit of
stars
like
for
a
your
happy pull
smile,
tension between
moons for
people so
your
that it
hair,
can turn and
and someone's
going
wonderful
away
love
so I can
for your
expect.
loving heart
Yeah?
to share.
So try
My
that a little
wish
bit.
for you,
Amazing, the turn, yes.
sweet
Okay.
happy
So
life.
try
May
just a
all your
little turn,
sorrows be gone and your
little
heart
tension away and
begin
pull
to
in.
sing.
Yeah?
And if a wish
Yes.
can make it
Exactly.
true,
Yeah.
I wish to spend every day of your happy
Good.
life with me. Stars for your smile, moons for your hair, and someone's wonderful love for your loving heart to share. My wish for you, sweet happy life. May all your sorrows be gone and your heart begin to sing. And if a
Great.
wish
Great.
can make it be, I wish you spend every day of your happy life with me. Sweet happy life, sweet happy life.
Cool. You did great. You're good. It looks good. It's organic, and also it's a little bit um still clunky, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong, okay? Because our road to getting, where we want to go, which I think is dancing is one, all we have to do is really see each other, to listen, and to practice, okay? So I know that, we're probably not in a place where we can go out dancing, but certainly you have the space, even in your smallest kitchen or your office or wherever you have, maybe it's a dimmable light, or maybe it's, I don't know, any place that you have music and you have your phone. Yeah, you just be playing music and practicing dancing. So first of all, kudos to you because you've made this time to just be with me leading you, but also to be with each other and to do this silly thing and to see one another, and just be physical. It can be scheduled if that's your bag, or it can be spontaneous, but always you have to agree that you're doing it. Or maybe, I don't know. Yeah. So, um, I have, I think, one more move. So, aside from different ways to hold, 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 you can really make up any of these, right? Anything that's comfortable to you. Any configuration of arms. Um, I also want to acknowledge that because you're close partners, you can put your torsos close together and dance in that way as well. Yeah, and so this is probably the closest we can get in, like, as an opposite to just holding fingertips. Yeah, so the opposite of this taffy pull extension away from each other is full touch. Yeah, so that means our chests are together, our waists, yeah, our pelvises are close by, and so I want you now to practice, and you've already been doing it, but I want you to feel. This is where it gets weird because I don't want to tell you to touch your bodies together, and if you don't feel comfortable, let it happen or not. But as you go far apart from one another, yeah, find the way to get there like two magnets. Yeah. So here's the tension. We find our momentum, and how do we lock? Okay. So sometimes it's an arm that holds in the low back or the upper back, or it's over the shoulder. Yeah. Kind of the same as when you're doing a handshake with one another, except this is a different kind of handshake. Yeah. So this is like kind of our last frontier for this evening, but I just want you to practice a little bit of a two-step, finding different hand holds, sometimes a turn, definitely turn one another, and then sometimes out of that turn, find the tension and find closeness. Yeah, this embrace is not just polite, it's just a little bit of a squeeze. Yeah? Okay. So, it's a lot of things. It's all intuitive, I think. Okay? So,
Say it's only a paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
always come back to seeing one
Yes,
another.
it's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
Good.
Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade.
Really
It's a
find that thing
Barnum
close
and
to one another.
Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
Say it's only a paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Yes, it's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love,
It's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love,
it's a melody played in a penny arcade.
it's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. It's phony, it's plain.
Great. Great. Amazing. I just wanted to name for you or about you that for me in this last year, because it's almost now a year inside of COVID, it's been hard to find time to have like intimate social space, you know? And it's really nice to share this space with you. Like as simple as it is and just really like quickly intimate as it is to see partners or other partners dancing together. It's been really great. Yeah. I hope that things that I've shared with you this evening um, have been useful. And maybe you can carry them into your partner dancing onwards this evening or elsewhere and out of the pandemic as well. So thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm gonna encourage you always, always to practice. Yeah, so just come back to it, see one another, get close, get far, change the space, but definitely just be sensitive to one another and the touching. Yeah. Um, I think I'll leave it there. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you, Linda.
Thank you, everyone, for attending Dancing as One this evening. I hope that you enjoyed um, your evening in the lesson and
Sort of.
had a
You're a
chance
little,
to
no.
reconnect with your partner. We also hope that you'll consider attending some other Terrapin Love Week events. Remember, all alumni who attend two or more events will have the chance to win a special sweet treat. Be on the lookout for a survey next week, and we ask, as always, that you stay
Sort
connected
of, not
with
really.
your alumni association. Good evening and go Terps.